Think back to a second. So when you were a teenager in high school, or even back when you were in your early 20s, the people that you knew back then that were in their 40s or 50s, like those were old people, right? You couldn't wrap your head around what it might be like for you one day to be in your 40s or 50s. You probably looked at those people and thought they were completely out of touch and were basically geriatric old people. But now, if you follow my channel or if you're watching this video, chances are you've reached that age and you realize it's really not that bad. And in a lot of cases, myself included, these years can be some of the best years of your entire life if you don't neglect yourself. Here's what I mean. Everything's easy when you're young, right? Even if you don't realize it at that time. It's easy to stay in shape. It's easy to bounce back from injury. And it's easy to make friends and maintain your appearance. But when you get older, every one of those things gets harder. So let's talk about it. Maintaining your physical appearance. This has to do with your fitness and your overall style. All of this matters whether you want to believe it or not. And I'm not here trying to change your mind. I'm just providing the facts. So back when I was in my early 40s, I looked in the mirror one day and didn't like what I saw. I had completely let myself go and I put on a bunch of weight. I basically looked like shit, I had no style, and I felt like crap. I made the decision to hire a personal trainer, and over the course of the next few months, I lost just about 40 pounds, and I've kept it off since then for like the last 13 or 14 years. Is it harder to lose weight when you get older? Sure. But is it possible? Absolutely. Nothing in life worth having comes easy. But here's the thing. You have to prioritize it, because if you've been complaining about losing that same 25 pounds for the last 5 years, but you sit at home all day eating junk and not exercising, you don't get to complain about it anymore. You have to make yourself a priority. And it's hard, of course, especially now. Something else that goes hand in hand with staying in shape is maintaining your sense of style. Once again, it absolutely matters. It does get a little weird at this age because we, as men at least, still want to look cool and relevant, but we don't want to dress like a teenager and we don't want to look like an old grandpa either. And that's sort of where my YouTube channel comes in, because I have got hundreds of videos on this channel that talk all about clothing choices and trends that you can get away with, but I also talk about things that you might want to avoid. And I think for me anymore, it's about simple, clean aesthetics in solid muted colors that just fit well. Another thing that gets harder as we get older is finding your person, or finding that one relationship that you can finally completely relax into. The landscape has changed dramatically. Online dating can be pretty overwhelming and also super impersonal. Also, by this stage in life, a lot of us have baggage, man, and emotional scars and super rigid expectations from the other person that just make things a lot more challenging. But that doesn't mean you still can't find the one. You guys know this already, but relationships require a safe place for vulnerability and also communication. But each person also has to show up with some level of self-awareness and also emotional maturity. Because by this stage of life, my friends, we are pretty much done playing games. You should have a clear understanding of what your values are, what your boundaries are, but you should also be open to regular, healthy communication. And here's the thing. Relationship counseling used to have this sort of stigma that's been attached to it, but now it's a healthy tool for building and maintaining healthy partnerships. So listen, if you have been having trouble in this arena, I need you to reach out to the service that I believe in, BetterHelp, today's video sponsor. BetterHelp is a platform where therapists and their clients can communicate effectively and get the most out of therapy. And here's the thing about therapy. First of all, there's no shame in it. Second of all, it's just one of those things like that you don't know what you don't know, because you might not realize how much it can really help you until you try it. There's going to be a link down below in the description box to betterhelp.com/fashion. Clicking on that link will get you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so that you can finally connect with a therapist and get started on your own therapy journey. It's easy. All you do is fill out a quick questionnaire about what you're looking for, and then BetterHelp can match you with a therapist in as little as just a few days. From there, you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable. It could be messaging, it could be phone or video. You can also message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions whenever it's convenient for you. And the really cool thing is this: if you don't really click with that first therapist for whatever reason, you can easily switch out to a brand new therapist until you find someone that you really connect with. So if you could use a tune-up or maybe like a little bit of a reset to get some of your questions answered, please, gentlemen, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Just click that link in the description or just go visit betterhelp.com/fashion to get that 10% off your first month of therapy. The link, gentlemen, is right down below. And thank you, BetterHelp, for your ongoing support of my channel and for sponsoring today's video. Another thing that gets harder as we get older is embracing change. It's true, right? As we get older, we tend to get more stuck in our ways and we become closed-minded about new ideas, new technology, new music, Bluetooth everything, Apple CarPlay, ChatGPT, you name it. We tend to like what we like because that's the way it's always been and that's what works. Trust me, I totally get it, but things change. They have to. Technology changes. I mean, you can talk to your house now and you can practically barbecue a steak from your phone. I mean, how cool is that? And also, just look at how music has changed from when your parents were a teenager to when you were a teenager. Now, look at the stuff that your kids are listening to. It's absolutely bonkers, but you need to be open to those changes, even though it's hard. Something else that gets harder as you get older is staying healthy and maintaining your overall health. The fact is, right, as we get older, the more things are going to start breaking down, and that sucks, but it's a fact of life. It sort of gets back to prioritizing yourself, right? So stop eating processed shit all the time. Stop ignoring those health problems that your body is trying to tell you about. Go to the doctor for regular checkups, get your blood work done, and have that funny looking mole on your skin checked out. Now, this one gets really difficult, and it's reaching the point in life where people around you start to die, right? Your grandparents, your parents, your aunts and uncles. Everybody is getting older, and people just don't live forever. This is a very eye-opening period in your life, right? You're young enough to still be active and live an amazing life with an incredible lifestyle, but you're also old enough to get those occasional wake-up calls that remind you that everything is temporary. Another thing that gets kind of harder as we get older is making new friends and just finding people to hang out with. It's like, once again, right, we get stuck in our ways, and we all sort of have baggage that tends to get in the way. But humans are social beings, and we thrive on other human interaction. People need people. Well, I guess at least 99.9% of us do. It's tough, and I'll just use myself as a quick example. I have to force myself to go engage with other people and have that human connection. Most all my friends have family obligations. I'm single. I don't have kids. I work from home. I talk to a camera, and then I go to my office and edit myself talking to the camera. So if I don't get out of this house and interact with other people every once in a while, I will go batshit crazy. So my advice is get out there and engage with people. When you're 20, you are invincible. You can't even imagine yourself at 50 or even 60. But one day you wake up and you realize that's where you are now. And hopefully you paid attention to yourself enough to not let yourself slide. But if so, let this be your wake-up call to make some changes. And just one last thing before you guys take off. If you made it this far in the video, you are one of the true legends. So please hit that like button to let me know you made it. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Live well, and I'll see you in the next one.